Have you ever, like, scrolled through LinkedIn and thought, wow, like, what does it really take to build a profile that stands out?
Especially in a field like cybersecurity, right?
Right. So today we're going deep on Diogo Abekassis' profile.
He's an IT coordinator at Tilibras in Brazil.
Yeah, and his profile is super interesting. It's not just like bullet points,
Oh, yeah, it's definitely not just a list of jobs and skills. It's more like a story
a story of how he's like combined all this hands-on experience.
with a serious commitment to always learning more, to always getting better.
And that's how he became a leader in cybersecurity.
Totally. And we've got his whole LinkedIn profile as our source material for
Yeah.
this deep dive. It's packed with insights, let me tell you.
Okay, so Diogo has over 40 certifications and licenses. Over 40. Just think about that for a second.
Wow, right.
And they're not just any certifications. We're talking CompTIA,
Oh, yeah, CompTIA for sure.
Microsoft,
Got-
Google,
He's got the big names covered.
but then also these really specialized ones.
So that number alone, 40, it's obviously impressive.
Oh, for sure.
But what's even more fascinating is how he's chosen them strategically.
Like he's not just collecting them to show off.
No, definitely not. He's building this really deep and targeted understanding of the most important areas in cybersecurity.
So smart. And he actually mentions this in his About section.
Yeah, he's deliberately shifted his focus towards cybersecurity.
He's basically like crafting his own career path.
It's really impressive to see that kind of intentionality.
It is. Okay, so let's rewind to the beginning.
Back to the start.
Yeah. He didn't just magically appear as a cybersecurity expert.
Right.
His early roles were a lot more hands-on, more foundational.
He was a network and telecommunications technician at Portugal Telecom. And get this, he even spent time in customer support at Vodafone.
Oh, wow. Can you imagine Diogo helping someone reset their router password?
It's a funny image.
Yeah.
But honestly, those early roles, they were super valuable.
Yeah.
They probably gave him such a strong foundation in network infrastructure, troubleshooting too, how to fix things when they go wrong,
Well, that makes sense.
and how to communicate tech stuff, clearly.
To like regular people.
Exactly. Because not everyone's a tech expert. All of those skills are goal ED as you move up.
That's true. Okay, so how did he go from like fixing phone lines to leading an IT team?
Good question. If you look at his career progression, it all makes sense. He went from those early roles into service desk positions. So he was probably handling all sorts of tech issues there.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Then he moved into critical systems monitoring. So that requires a deep understanding of how systems work and how to keep them running smoothly. And this is cool, he became a web developer and e-commerce specialist.
What?
Yeah, he's got this whole other skill set related to building and managing websites. It's amazing how he kept extending his knowledge.
He's like a tech Swiss Army knife. So many tools.
I like that.
Okay, but how did all of this lead to data and cybersecurity?
That's a good question. I think it was more of a gradual shift, a series of choices, not like a single light bulb moment.
Okay, makes sense.
So he got a data analyst position at TELUS International AI.
Ah, that's where he started working with tons of data.
Exactly. He was probably identifying patterns, drawing insights from data. That kind of analytical thinking is crucial in cybersecurity because you got to spot those anomalies, those little clues that could be a threat.
So it's not just about building and protecting systems, it's about thinking like the bad guys.
Exactly. Like a digital detective.
Ooh, I love that. Okay, and then from there?
Well, it makes sense that he'd move into his current role, right? IT coordinator at Tilibras.
Where he's basically responsible for the security of their entire IT infrastructure?
It's a huge responsibility.
Huge. And he's only been there for 2 months. 2 months. As of November 20th, 2024.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing when you consider all the expertise he's built up over the years, and he did it so deliberately.
But okay, let's talk about the certifications again. You mentioned they're strategic. What does that mean?
Think about it. Cybersecurity, it changes constantly. New threats are popping up all the time. New tech is being developed to fight those threats. So you got to stay ahead of the curve. You can't just rely on what you learned years ago.
You got to keep updating your knowledge.
All the time. And that's what's so cool about what Diogo is doing with his certifications.
He's not just taking whatever course is trendy. He's picking certifications that line up with specific areas he wants to master.
Exactly. Or areas that are really in demand.
It's like he's creating his own custom skill tree.
Like in a video game, right?
Exactly. Except this is his real life. So what are some examples of certifications that show this strategic approach?
Two stand out to me. One is cybersecurity identity and access solutions using Azure AD.
Okay, so that focuses on securing cloud-based systems.
Right, because so much is in the cloud now. And then, of course, there's his Google Cybersecurity Certificate. That one's broad. It covers a wide range of cybersecurity concepts.
So he's demonstrating that he's committed to understanding the latest stuff, especially in cloud computing.
Definitely. Which is just essential for businesses these days.
He's thinking ahead.
Yeah, he's playing chess while everyone else is playing checkers.
Totally. And it's not just about getting a job, right? It's about being able to do the job well.
Exactly. These certifications give him the knowledge to actually implement security, analyze threats, and respond to incidents.
Okay, so we've talked about his early hands-on work, the way he's so strategic about those certifications and how he's focused on cybersecurity. He's put in so much work.
He has.
But you know what I think really sets him apart? He's not just keeping all of this knowledge to himself.
Oh, he was sharing it.
Yeah, he's sharing it. Through his contributions on LinkedIn, he's not just listing skills, he's engaging in discussions, giving advice, contributing to the whole cybersecurity community.
That's so great. It really shows that he genuinely wants to help other people in the field
It does.
and help advance cybersecurity as a whole.
For everyone.
Yeah, it's not just about him. And it also helps him build his own reputation as a thought leader, which is smart.
It is. Okay, so
So
we've talked about.
we've covered a lot.
Yeah, I think we're ready to move on.
Yeah, let's do it. Welcome back to our deep dive into Diogo Abacus's LinkedIn profile.
It's great to be back.
In the first part, we talked about how Diogo has strategically combined his hands-on experience
Right.
with continuous learning.
To build a remarkable career in cybersecurity.
Exactly.
So now let's get into the specifics. Let's look at his professional journey
Yeah, let's break it down.
and see how those choices actually played out, in the real world.
Sounds good.
Okay, so we talked a bit about his current role as IT coordinator at Telabras,
Right.
but before that, he spent 7 months as a data analyst at TELUS International AI Data Solutions. That seems pretty different from cybersecurity, right?
It does, yeah.
What was he doing there?
So at TELUS, he was working on those digital maps that we all use every day for navigation.
Okay.
And his job was to make sure the data behind those maps was accurate, high quality.
So a lot of research evaluation, I imagine.
Lots of problem solving, too.
Which, now that I think about it, those are all super important for cybersecurity, too.
Totally. Think about it. You need those analytical skills to spot those tiny little red flags in the data.
The ones that could mean there's a security threat.
Exactly. Cybersecurity is about thinking like a detective.
Putting the pieces together.
Yeah. So even though this TELUS role wasn't specifically cybersecurity,
It was still adding to his cybersecurity toolkit.
for sure. And before TELUS, Diogo was at Grupo Aquisum Negocios Digitais for almost 4 years.
Okay.
He did a lot there, actually. He was a web developer, web designer, and e-commerce specialist.
Yeah.
Basically a one-man digital agency.
Wow. So he was handling everything.
Pretty much.
Right.
Branding, creating e-commerce stores, web design and development, even video editing.
That's a lot, especially earlier in your career.
It is. But think about the experience he was getting. Like building and managing websites. That exposes you to the vulnerabilities of web apps.
Right. Because those can be targets for hackers.
Exactly. And it teaches you about secure coding practices.
Which is super important for anyone in cybersecurity.
Totally.
Yeah.
Especially anyone focused on protecting websites and web-based systems.
Which is basically everything these days.
Pretty much. So,
Yeah.
again, he's not just learning about security in theory. He's dealing with real-world challenges.
So important.
Right. And this pattern of hands-on experience, it goes even further back.
Oh, yeah.
From 2014 to 2019, he was at AR Telecom in Lisbon,
Okay.
providing technical support and network supervision for businesses.
Sounds like a pretty hands-on role.
It was. He was configuring network equipment, Cisco, Juniper troubleshooting internet connections, managing servers.
Really the backbone of any IT infrastructure.
Exactly. So that experience must have given him such a deep understanding of how networks really work.
And where the security weaknesses are.
Totally. It's one thing to read about network security in a book.
But it's totally different to actually do it.
Right. To configure firewalls, set up intrusion detection systems, and respond to security incidents in real time.
That's where those foundational skills pay off.
Big time.
Okay, so even though his early roles weren't specifically about cybersecurity.
Yeah.
They were giving him all these technical skills that would be super valuable later on in his cybersecurity career.
It's like he was building a strong foundation, brick by brick.
Yeah, I love that analogy. And that foundation also includes his time at Portugal Telecom Inovação,
Okay.
where he was in critical systems monitoring and the service desk.
Got it.
So there, he gained experience with operating systems like UNIX and Solaris, databases, even scripting languages like PHP and Shell script.
Oh, that's so important for cybersecurity.
Holy.
Professionals use those tools every day to automate tasks, look through logs, respond to incidents.
So it all connects.
It does. It's like he was almost subconsciously preparing himself for a cybersecurity career.
Before he even knew it.
Maybe. And then there's his very first role as a network telecommunications technician at Portugal Telecom.
Okay.
He was supporting field technicians, troubleshooting network issues, and configuring all kinds of network devices.
So he was learning how networks function at the most basic level.
Which is so important for understanding how to secure them. It's like learning the alphabet before you write a novel.
You need that basic understanding before you can get into the complex stuff.
Exactly. Oh, and we can't forget his time at Vodafone Portugal as a customer technical support assistant.
I was going to say, that seems like a pretty standard first job.
It does. But it probably taught him a lot about problem solving, communication, customer service.
And those skills are useful everywhere, right?
Oh, yeah. Especially in a field like cybersecurity.
Which involves a lot of collaboration.
And interacting with people who might not be tech experts.
Right. Because ultimately, cybersecurity is about protecting people.
Absolutely.
It's about making sure their data is safe and that they can use technology without worrying.
Well said.
So Diogo's career path actually highlights something really important. You don't have to take just one path to get into cybersecurity.
You're right. There are lots of ways to get there.
And sometimes those experiences that seem unrelated.
They can give you a totally unique perspective.
And a really valuable skill set.
Exactly. It's not all about the technical skills.
It's also about communication, problem solving, being able to adapt.
All those things make a difference in any career.
Totally. Diogo's journey is proof that a successful career in cybersecurity isn't always a straight line.
You got it.
It can involve going in different directions, learning different things.
Being open to new opportunities.
And constantly learning and growing.
For sure.
Okay, so we've gone from his early days as a telecom technician to his role as IT coordinator at Telabras.
We've covered a lot of ground. What are your big takeaways from this part of the deep dive?
For me, the biggest thing is how important hands-on experience is.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Diogo didn't just read about technology. He went out and did it. He configured systems, fixed problems, worked with clients.
And all that practical experience gave him a deep understanding of how things work in real life, which is so valuable in cybersecurity.
So true. I also think it shows that your career path doesn't have to be linear.
Yeah, I agree with that.
You can explore different areas, gain different skills, and still end up with a fulfilling career in cybersecurity.
Exactly. You have to be open to new things.
But always learning.
Absolutely.
Yep.
And that actually brings us to the final part of our deep dive, where we'll look at Diogo's LinkedIn contributions in more detail.
Perfect.
We can get a glimpse into his thought process.
How he solves problems.
And his passion for sharing what he knows with the cybersecurity community.
I love that. Let's dive in. Welcome back, everyone. I feel like we've been on this amazing journey.
We have, haven't we? Exploring Diogo's LinkedIn profile. It's been fascinating.
From telecom technician to data analyst to leading the way in cybersecurity, his career path, you couldn't predict it.
It's definitely not a straight line.
But, looking back, every step makes sense. It all led him to where he is now.
Each experience contributed to his expertise, like pieces of a puzzle.
It's like those choose-your-own-adventure books, remember? All those paths, but in the end, they led to this cybersecurity pro.
Okay, but there's one more layer we got to unpack here.
Yeah, the good stuff.
The best part, I think. His contributions to the whole cybersecurity community.
He doesn't just talk about himself.
No. He's sharing his knowledge, helping others. It's not just about him. So we touched on some of his posts before.
Right.
But there's one I keep thinking about. And it's not even directly cybersecurity.
No.
It's about what to do when your boss is questioning your work as a data analyst.
Oh, I think we've all been there.
Right. Like, you feel like you're in the hot seat. How do you prove your worth? His advice is so good.
What does he say?
Keep learning. Stay up to date with the latest tools. Work with real data. get that practical experience.
Makes sense.
But the most important thing, I think, is what he says about communication.
Oh, that's huge E.
He's like, you got to articulate the value you bring. Explain your analysis in a way that anyone can understand.
Not just the tech people. Exactly. Don't just do a good job. Be able to explain why it matters.
That's a crucial skill in any job.
But especially in tech, where things can get so complex.
Totally agree. And that focus on communication come up in a lot of his posts.
Oh yeah, like his series on communication tips for network engineers.
I remember those. Those were good.
So smart. He takes this really complex topic and breaks it down into these little nuggets.
Practical tips.
On how to explain technical stuff to non-technical people.
So helpful.
He talks about mastering the basics, like the TCP/IP protocol, which is like the language computers use on the internet.
The foundation.
Yeah. If you really understand those core concepts, you can explain them to anyone.
CEOs, other engineers, anyone.
Exactly. And he also talks about analogies.
Yeah.
Like comparing a network router to a traffic cop.
Makes it easier to understand.
Right. Making those abstract concepts relatable.
It's all about finding the right way to explain it. And he acknowledges that network engineering is always changing too.
Oh yeah, it never stops.
New tech, new terms, new concepts. And his advice is basically, be a lifelong learner.
Adapt. Stay curious.
Yeah, don't get stuck. Admit when you don't know something. Which is refreshing, honestly.
It is. People in tech, they often try to act like they know everything.
For sure. Oh, speaking of knowing things, what about his post on preparing network security for blockchain technology?
So good. Blockchain is complex, right? But he breaks it down so clearly. No jargon.
He makes it practical.
Strong encryption, that's key. Keeping your systems up to date, both hardware and software.
Because outdated systems are like an open invitation for hackers.
Exactly. It's not just about the fancy new stuff. Basic security is essential.
That foundation.
Always.
Yeah.
Cybersecurity is never done. It's an ongoing process. And his post, it highlights something else too.
What's that?
Cybersecurity professionals, they have to be thinking ahead, not just reacting to threats.
They have to anticipate them.
Which means understanding these new technologies, like blockchain. So after spending all this time with Diogo's LinkedIn profile, what's the biggest takeaway for you?
You know, it's the reminder that a successful career, especially in cybersecurity, it's not just about the tech skills.
It's more than that.
It's the constant learning, adaptability, communicating clearly, and being a real contributor to your community.
Diogo, he embodies all of that. His profile is like a blueprint for building a career that's fulfilling and impactful.
I love that.
Yeah.
So well said. As we wrap up this deep dive, I'm thinking about our listeners. They've been with us on this journey. And I wonder, what are they taking away from this?
It might be inspiration to take a fresh look at their own online presence.
Their own LinkedIn.
Exactly. Are they showcasing their skills and experience in a way that shows their potential? Maybe they're even thinking about contributing to their own professional communities.
Sharing their knowledge, helping others. That's the best part of these deep dives. They're not just about learning about someone else's path. They're about reflecting on our own lives and taking action. So to our listeners, we say this. Take Diogo's example to heart. Never stop learning. Be strategic in your career and share what you know with the world. You never know who you might inspire. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep diving deep.